Hello world, I just got my Igloo container in the mail today. It's 2 gallons. It's got a little water spout here, which is what I need. This little lid pops off, just like that. I got about 2 gallons of room in there. One thing I'm going to do in there, once all this electrical crap is over and done with, I'm going to be, I got this at Walmart for actually $6. It's pretty good. It's a replacement for something in your toilet that refills the water whenever the water level gets low. Basically how this works is, this is what happens when your toilet tank's full. Whenever water starts to, drain out of your toilet, this little flotation device drops and it flips this switch up in here, which refills your toilet. And I'm going to try to be using this to see if I can refill the water in here automatically. But that's for another day. Make sure we keep all those parts. What I'm going to be doing today is actually a lot more focused on the lid itself. What I need to be able to do is fit all these heat sinks on top of here. I'm going to be cutting a hole somewhere in here through the middle of the lid. Now luckily this is not a screw-on lid, it's just a pop-off lid, so if I ever need to open it I can just stick a little flathead in there and pry it open. So that's never going to be a problem. I'm going to be probably using a serrated knife, maybe an Expo knife, to get the hole the size I need it, and I'll be showing you that later. Alright, I just got finished carving a nice little hole in here. That's what it looks like from the other side. It's got all that bullshit in there. I'm going to clean that out later. The reason I did this was so that I could fit, remember this? This is my small heat sink. This is going to be for the cold side. I'm going to be sticking it in here right like that down in the bottom. I'll show you how that's going to fit. Alright, what I did was I put this heat sink here, and I used a marker and marked the holes where I need to drill. That's where the bolts are going to go through. Alright, I have finished it. I have mounted all the heat sinks on there, and both the fans. Let me show you the underside of this. That's my small fan and my small cold heat sink. I wish more of it was protruding out, but that's really the best I could do, to be honest with you, for right now. Here's my hot sink, and I have a big ass alternating current fan that's going to be cooling that off. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug all this shit in all the way it's supposed to be and watch it work by itself. And that's it for this. Alright, here's everything. It's all plugged in. I've got this alternating fan, which is right here, this white cord that's plugged into this. That's the switch. It's on full throttle right now. It's not going to go off. All this switch is just plugged into that power strip right there. And this goes to my DC power supply. And my DC power supply, if I can see if I can take this lid off without chopping my hands off. And there's the little mini fan right there. That's going to be fanning off the cold side of this contraption. I'm actually, you might be able to see, I really fucked up a lot when I was doing this. I'm actually really glad that it worked out in the end. I'm really surprised it did, because of how much I drilled and then re-drilled and messed everything up multiple times. But this thing's going to work, and it's going to work really well. This thing's blowing air very nicely, as it should. And it's not even that loud. It probably sounds loud on this video you're watching, but it's really not that bad. Your refrigerator makes a hell of a lot more noise than this does. And that's all I've got about my container. So now you have a really good idea of what it's going to look like in the end. I'm not done. I still need to put my Peltier units in here. Once I get that up and running, that'll probably be my last video. I'm still waiting on those. the people that have them shipped it from like Bangladesh or something, because America can't, you know, make our own ingenuitive stuff anymore. We have to buy all of our really cool shit from Asia. But and that takes weeks to deliver. So I'm still waiting on that. I got all these other parts from, you know, within our borders. But those Pelter units are on their way. Once I get them, I'll finally be able to experiment with those on my own, and that ought to be a lot of fun. That's the only reason I started this project in the first place, was just to experiment with Pelter units, and I've got everything but those so far. So whenever they come in the mail, I'll definitely put up more footage, and this whole thing will finally meet Judgment Day and see if it actually works. Until then, I'll see you later.